the land and all the countries to pay. In fact, it's not a environmental, consideration because they have not of it. So this is to have a database where it captures all the information, location, and data that can competence to need to the land. So if you have my system one, I can tell what the expected to this, but not much more. That's not. So maybe the ministry to come up with a comprehensive plan where they will plans to be able to document the delivery, that will have them functionally, between the type of payments who are paid, items like that. Because like I said, if you have to get them the items now, then we so you need to have comprehensive where you know people are paid, when they are paid, who are paid, when they owe, etc. And do that. The market coalition is not good. So they need to have a competitive system. That would be implemented by the industry. So that they can take a kind of bonus. Well, I don't think enough to go there.
The plans, of the delivery of Poland and payment now. Thus, you can respond to board concerns, objections. Now, on this also, can you give updates on the current situation?
Then because pockets that lack of I also think that probably it happen to not many challenges, but that was it. But I think that is the only thing that happened so at that point in time. So notwithstanding, absolutely around this city from challenging the finance better
What is the current situation?
They have to be found.
Yes.
That's why I said I will get the department to my
We give you up to 25th to give us update. Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. So, in the absence of this database, what kind of mechanism do you have in place to identify all these lands that are these lands and agricultural for agricultural purposes and industrial purposes? To identify those lands for this.
Thank you for those things. I've been seeing the many occasions when I've tried my disclosure and saying, I know when plans, so the department say to me and have their master plans for agricultural use, for residential institutions. So when someone is requesting for those things are included in the form. It's important to solve the policy and the site at the Department of Land Security. And it has to be highlighted that the agricultural, residential, public answers your question.
No, this is a very complex issue here. I understand when a land is registered for agricultural purposes, if you want to resell that land for residential, you need to apply to the ministry. That the government will take 30% of that land and you will pay 70%. So what mechanism do you have in place to ensure that this transaction goes in right manner? And equally, for some lands, they do at the local authority level, they take the qualities here. So what mechanism do you have in place to identify these lands? Because there are so many these lands that have been improved and currently in force. So in the absence of a database, so this will be very difficult for those leaseholders to have their land secured.
Yes, when a particular land is being taxed in construction and president, only takes sort of because not necessarily 5%, it depends on the value of the fee of it, 40%. So there is no fixed amount like 30% in this one. So they have to include the basic security in this case. We have so many cases that they are calling them to the land reasons for reality and different instruments for the cabinet. And the mechanism with regards to those conversions. I learned that before, if you want to convert, you can pay monetary or foreign percentage. But of late, we are not following most of the things for paying for the percentage. We must complete the grant percentage for government to use. Not necessarily before you have to offer payment percentage. But now people have realized the water farm is only in saving.
Thank you. So now we can proceed to page 2023, and the 2023 referring to page 24 of 2023. Page 24 of 2023. The first issue has to do with opening balance reported as separate line item, where the auditors noted the opening balance reflecting the net closing balance amounting to $1,155,819,541.98. Under the audit recommended that the balance be investigated and analyzed and appropriately classified under the relevant account. Management response. Page 24. AE.
Response to this query, this account was used to maintain the balance from the economic.
Audit.
Auditors comment. The balance is for amount on the note 21 as payable. The time limit was resolved. Just before you hand over, this was also reported in the previous 2021 and 2022.
As indicated in the file, it's repeated, and on that note, the edition that we have taken in 2021 has been done here. On that note, honorable member, this is repeated. The management, what was required on the management to do so in 2021 would be captured under this aspect. Honorable member.
The account was used by way of the bar. You expect that the balance that was contained will remain same. But it seems that not case. So we need the issue that can be greater than the amount of capital migrated 20 to 29%. So we need still there are issues underlining in particular way. But if we were to then the amount of still to have standard. But for that amount of the same, we need to more or less amount the migrated from 29%. So there are some issues we need to do and what is the
So then, page 25, difference in cash balance. The difference was indicated in the table amounting to 1,643,033, that's 3.26. The auditors recommended that management investigate and reconcile the difference. Management response? Audit?
final comment. We input the difference amounting to 6,103,157,800 We made the cash balance disclosed on the note 15 and we calculated the end cash balance, the cash and cash receipts. The details are shown to you. This also is an ongoing issue. Even in 2024, we have it finding.
Accountant General, can you give us an update on the issue?
As far as this matter is concerned, we're going back to look at and the cost ranging from the overstatement of the TMA as a result of some cash allocations that were not on board from Fpac, which was a consequence of not happening. So we've already identified potential ways or means to bring down this difference. Because primarily, if you look at the cash account, the team is one of the key contributing factors to the difference between the two, because it's because of overstatement. So we have at least what we have, we need to narrow down this difference. So I believe you would see the impact because we need for the big thing we have. Of course, another contributing factor would be instances where the entities like the likes of judiciary and court have not generated payments, meaning that the taxes would be roughly overtaken. So all those things have to continue to work with the entities so that our payments are generated and we can put another down the gap between.
So that's also form part of the audit we're supposed to provide.
On this one, I'm not impressed that we allow to work on this one 2025.
Can you confirm it?
Because this will require having to follow up on the various cash accounts that are making up this
Audit?
So,
I think the explanation makes sense. So we allow them time and they will have come to 2025. It's an ongoing issue. And then even in 2024, so it's okay. But I think they need some frequency. So we allow them time. Once they do the necessary adjustments, we can come and report back to you.
The next issue, page 27, overstatement of cash balance. The difference indicated in the table is of 13,066,515.37. The audit recommended that management perform a detailed reconciliation of cash balances to identify and correct the overstatement, strengthen the internal controls over cash reporting and regular verification procedures, can help ensure accurate and reliable financial information. Management response?
As discussed during the meeting, the conclusion of 2021, audit active transactions and audit entity revenue, while excluding transactions from partner. Consequently, the amount reflected in the management method is not accurate.
Page 27. 27.
The difference is caused by the exchange difference.
Audit.
Pilot comment. The further noted an overstatement amounting to 209,960,360 between the calculated year-end balance, cash balance, and the cash balance disclosed in the statement of cash receipts and payments. Details are so due.
The difference has reduced.
This is also a recording issue, Malaysia.
Yes, recording. Now, can you give us update or will it be confirmed in the subsequent audit?
This one has was resolved already and taken care of. Yeah.
Pardon?
Has been taken care of in 2024.
Taken care of in 2024 audit? Can you confirm that? Taken care of in 2024.
Madam Chair, we can confirm that this issue was resolved in 2020.
The issue resolved in 2024. Yeah?
Yes, please.
Can we go to page 29? Unclear transit accounts amounted to 55,853,907 billion, 55,853,970,145.59. The audit recommended that the AGD implement appropriate measures to ensure these balances are reviewed and cleared as part of the year-end process. Management response.
Was submitted that was related only after transaction without while excluding entries from amount reflected in
Audit. AGD.
carried out of the state plan 1.6. Another 1.6 respectively movement to open clearing that out. Video. That's video, no? Yeah.
So when can we get the update?
We would be working further on this, and the update will be available as part of the 2025.
Audit? Huh?
It has been a very lengthy year. You have completely well to the moment. We don't know contact now.
On that one go?
Yes, it is a bit issue. Now, unless the root cause sacrifice, we will see them in 2025. So, like I said earlier, they just go through the characteristics of the people account. So, no, it's not whatever at the end of the year. So, we have to really look at the account behavior or the characteristics of the purpose of the account. And fix it, not giving up, the issue come back again. So we believe that they take it and to ensure that they know why I can behave in this way. Because it's very abnormal. At the end of the day, this I just hold it down. You can't consider anything that, in line so you can. Because you just hold it. But it is to more investigation to avoid the behavior so that we not see this behavior in parallel.
AED?
Honorable, this is noted for all our studies that we have actually time to look at the cause of these balances, because ideally these are accounts that are kind of set up at the background, and all things being equal, but there should not be any human intervention as far as these accounts are concerned. So what we realized that among the issues that are causing these balances, some of them are taken down, because when you call post at the VA level, a transaction, the system uses the AI, and automatically the people process the currency to 00. But as we are aware that it is actually age, there are technical issues that are resulting to the transaction not filtered into 00. So this one among others, for it is it's a bit difficult to sort out, and we can even guarantee that it can be needed out. We continue to work on this, but so
Yes.
They have guarantee, so we need solution. Because we can't continue to have this, because this affects actually the way life. So this has to get we are still all repeated. And problem accounts for some of these, they've been very. So it's a great issue. I think the Japanese consultants will understand why it is way and the result. Now, what's already there, they have to find a way to deal with it. But the issue is going forward, we must not see this scenario happen. Then the issue that's there right now, they find a way to fix it. But what we are saying is going forward, that issue must stop. And to do that, you must investigate the behavior of this account. And then it's all the issues that can happen because of the account not being full. So why we're looking at resolving this problem is this amount something must not be added on, but we need to get it fixed. Okay.
AED?
Mr. Chair, please follow it. We will enable, and of course, we will look forward and
And can we take that the issue of the action that have taken can be confirmed in 2025? The honorable member is saying we need to identify the problem and fix it. The go to pick one, miscalculation of past accounts. The amount involved is 119,620,538.15 indicated in the table, and found that the audit recommended that the Accountant General Department investigated and correct this error to reflect the correct cash and cash equivalent balance. Management response.
This will be adjusted in the revised effort.
You know the adjustments made by management, however, the other listed account remain on adjustment.
Accountant General.
This were actually what I just said, but the only issue is the cash and cash equivalent. These were accounts marked on the notice, but their account is in the balance. So that was it.
Audit.
This also reported on the prior issues in 2024, meaning that the cleaning unresolved of the time was reporting to this assembly.
AGD, can you work on it and we'll give you timeline?
Yes, we will work on it.
25th?
And the 2025 accounts.
Or 2025?
Yes.
National audit?
Yeah, we confirm what they will adjustment.
You work on it and adjustment will confirm the 2025 accounts, right?
Yes.
And we'll proceed to P33, failure to disclose dormant accounts. The dormant accounts are indicated in the table, and the audit recommended management take immediate action to disclose the 14 dormant government accounts at the central bank and transfer the remaining balances to the consolidated fund in compliance with the financial regulations. Management response?
We will write to the bank
You will write to before I comment. National audit.
Auditor's comment. Final response is noted, however, there was no evidence of approval for the remaining accounts of the account of finalized in this report. Therefore, the issue remains unresolved.
You will write to. And did you write?
Actually, we yes, well, some of them were already closed. We decided to embark on holistic review of government government accounts. We agreed to close the extent of the ones that were no longer relevant. So actually wrote to sectors in December, and we have collated the extent possible all the accounts that are no longer relevant, and We will be sending this to the central bank by next week, so that we have a policy that, because this is not this wasn't the entire quantum as far as our accounts are concerned. But I believe my colleague PNCs can attest to the fact that they receive requests from us to review their bank accounts with a view to advise us to whether they are relevant or not. So for this one, we should be able to give an update by the 25th, because we have gotten around to those to the extent possible.
When did you like to say you go to sectors in December?
We go to sectors in December.
Which year?
December 2025. So right now, as we speak, we got responses from most of the NDA, because we gave we didn't hear from them. We considered as they are no longer relevant, and we proceed as those. So we will be carrying out this exercise, I believe, from next week to collect and prepare the bank to close the bank accounts.
So you report back.
We should be able to give it back on this by the 25th as part of our.
Okay, okay. Can we move to page 36? Differences in balances used to perform bank reconciliations. Difference involved amount to 29,173,709.6, and only recommended that these identified errors are promptly investigated and corrected to ensure the accuracy of the financial statements and management response.
The difference of 10,401.3 in the DMA is the error from the central bank, the statement. The statement for the PSA is not having any difference. And the difference between the actual cash book and the cash book and the draft is due to an issue with the reconciliation model which has been reported to the system provider for a solution.
Auditors family. The issue of the bank balance is used to allow the reconciliation to be resolved. However, the issue of the cash balance is remaining unresolved. Video is so new.
This is a rolling balance. This is as per the previous year's balances that we have had. And in the same update, we've already carried out the analysis and support from the supplier. The solutions are currently being deployed for the differences for this, for the difference between these two reports. We do not want to be 25th December, 25th of February. Perhaps to allow us for us to clear this before we call it 2025. Because we will have to work with our suppliers, and we will need time to get that done.
We give you up to.
I believe we should be allowed to work on this, and they should be able to verify this as part of the 2025 draft.
Once the analysis are provided, we will pass on and report back to you accordingly.
2025?
Yes, please.
Page 38, overdue or reconciled items. Page 38, overdue or reconciled items, 2019 to 20, overdue or reconciled items from 2019 to 2023. under the order committed that all concerned items from 2019 to 2021 for 2020 are promptly investigated, corrected, and cleared from the reconciliation statements. Management response.
This matter is after the and we want to have the
Provide response. Send response. Audit.
Yes, this was reported to our 2021 to 2022. For this particular finding, we had some auditors on, and currently, we will take some item amounting to 8,140,425,000. 8,140,425,139 and 3,484,039 limits. Detail is good and identity.
Thank you. On children.
No, this will require follow-up. So we will plan to prepare that we look at the audit when we start with
Now, I believe now almost most of the MDs are here. Anytime you receive your management letter and you're supposed to act on, you don't need to wait until you are summoned to the National Assembly. Right away, act on it, send it to the auditors. So that when we go to the National Assembly, they will inform us that the issue has been addressed after the audit exercise. It is not now that you start to go back and work on it until the resolutions are out. This was the norm, but that has to change. Honorable?
So one of the things that I want to ask, one of the things is you said one of the but what I like to identify is now you did only one to the final so the issue has to be followed by one of the
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to maybe actually maybe to provide the information, and for everything related to information. I have also mentioned that we have intended to take to address this issue.
Clara, we will give you time for this. Up when?
Yeah, I think we have the 2025
2025. National Audit.
We really we need to see the response on this before you the report. So that we have all the relevant stakeholders and then we follow to know exactly what the issues are and moving forward how this is really that is my information. Thank you.
No, it. Can we proceed to page 39? Difference between GLL and tax book. The findings indicated amounting to 86 million 851,608.65 within the cash books and then the general ledgers of the various cash accounts. And Audit recommended that the Accountant General conduct thorough investigation of these discrepancies and make the necessary adjustments. Management
there is no difference between GL and
Audit.
Each of the non-reserve, the equivalent difference amount to 7,895,150
the other is there is no difference, so there are
allow time to allocate up to 25th.
This is what we find. We don't have to go back and not only look at this, but to look at the entire national this and the years for the entire, for all the government accounts. So it's going to be a really significant. So we will such to prepare that we allow for this to be five. And that's the training to just like manage the
Audit.
What is the adjustment in the audit
Page 40, difference between 15 and general ledger. Discrepancy of 115,709,643.3. That's noted between 15 and the cash equivalent and the general ledger of the various cash accounts. Under the audit recommended that the AAG investigate these discrepancies and take corrective actions to adjust the balances accordingly. Management.
There is no difference between GL and non-GL.
Ini pada ini proses pendidikan general di mana yang informasi setelah WNCC ini betul sekali ini yang akan dibuat yang awal ini so ini akan dimasukkan di mana yang informasi sebelum yang ada ini menunjukkan kepada so jadi ini proses informasi ini akan menunjukkan video ini ada foto di kalau dengan video ini video
There is no difference, but the audit still show the difference. Can you confirm the difference?
Mr. Chair, we would not put When this issue was identified, and this stated our response that we did not know, we are not going to say not from the that was why we arrived at this account of 39 was going to be done. But I just wanted to say, in moving this, like I said yesterday, it's time back. We also put time to over because they didn't get the road. So that is why we have this different branch. But I don't think it is in the interest of everybody to say things that are not happening. Because it is in nobody's interest to anybody. Thank you.
The social question of one misleading the other, if there's a point to see them, it almost lies on you also to establish beyond reasonable doubt to what extent that is in place. And if the figure is indicated, this amount is considered to be the difference. You also need to go in detail to see exactly whether everything is clear or otherwise. So what is stated here, there is no difference. I just mean there is no difference. And if they are able to still establish the difference, this was put to you well before. You could go back to the drawing board and see where the board lies and do the necessary adjustment.
I think this is one. And I thought of it, and the dedicated explanation. Now, for dedicated, it's like about 20 let us talk about the balance of social accountability. Let's talk about because there is no issue, then they have to say. So let's have this here, like special account, the balance, and let's see the social I don't think it's going to be possible.
I think it's as simple now, since the audit firm further to indicate some differences, the onus lies on the accountant general to confirm those differences. That's what I put to the accountant general. Can you go back and then confirm these differences? We give up to 25th. We go to page 42. Overdue or reconciled items. It is also a recording issue. The audit recommended that all bank reconciliations be thoroughly reviewed and signed off by senior officers to prevent undetected errors. Manager response? Okay, done. There's a mic that is on. They're recording, otherwise it is not recording. Charm.
It is this one as a submission. We have asked you now to
That should also be part of the 25th submissions. 2025. Audit. Pages submitted that they worked on it and did audit confirming 2025.
Yes, I think
For the trade was resolved. We go to 45. Difference between BDL receipts and BDL. The amount involved for 7,533,835.49. The audit recommended that AE ensure that the BDL funds received during the year are posted in the year, are reported in the financial statement, and then the difference investigated and the details provided to the audit team for confirmation. Management. Provided. Audit. Was it provided?
I want to ask if that were responsible to farm, because I don't know analyzing this as to what the difference was and did you provide an analysis of this
Audit.
Jadi provide analysis, that's why the data they will analysis and how much is the money.
So the difference increase. Am I right? From 47 to 60 million.
For this way, I want to go back and what is submitted because all the data that are coming into the account now we compare it to the zero. So only it's very hard to reversals that would not be captured. Those are the ones that can purpose to provide analysis on this. It's like it is this much, but allows us to provide the analysis was not done.
We give you a clue.
This one we can write as part of
2015.
yes, okay.
I don't know how do we handle it, but definitely want to give us an issue.
So now they'll give us update and we see how that is going to look like.
I want to say that we might have some analysis because if transactions or the level by call, you expect the OPGL. But where you have this instances where funds like we would send funds by bank and then send back back and account. In this case, we will go back to capture back in GTL. But that would require having to raise the budget again. Because what the officers would do, for example, they would look at everything that comes as possible by bank account. And that is what they expect you to see the CC in another layer. But it's just not possible that you will not have this. Because it's going to be very laborious to receive the money back. Especially when you have only with maybe around back. Usually we bring the funds in the account and not back to transfer the funds. So I believe use this and look at the section or the ask what is causing this. But I agree with you that in as much as we have that, but there is no cause of concern. But I want to say this is something that we like because we are looking at the business process.
What will form part of your update?
We provide the update. Our command schools are alongside the update as to what the difference and what our view is on those different whatever we do. What is for them to allow it to assist.
There are some it appears you are anticipating maybe the non-solution of that issue.
I want to say it's not problem, there's no solution, but that's just business process. Imagine if an amount was paid on your account, whatever it is, the bank account back. Now, those just want to see that for one to see that transaction, you have cash, I will respect and then you have to go and this advantage. You have those two options. So if you are forced to go with the account, one to align the bank and the return on the money into the account and require that entity from the go back to the bank fresh. So from this might be and typically says that what is one of the different. One is that I come back that when we want cash flow, we are providing instructions so that the bank just handles and the bank that will pay back. So it's not something we can find a solution to we are addressed, but it will require more activity kind of more activities to bring knowledge and bring back home. Just from that point of view.
I
think it is all very when you send somebody to the and this is what So you know how to do it, right? Because and then you need to do it like this.
Yes.
What say that which doesn't be allowed to speak, but maybe because of this. Of course, the other issue that becomes in themselves. When transactions are not made clearly, the kind of an error will be by individual and also our technique that will go back to cash book. So on eventually you can have cash book was the back of so those also have that was different. So it's not a cost I mean. If we are saying I believe it should be because it's also something but it doesn't spread and you can easily stop that and just the big or payment organization. This is less time and that have to so you don't have to stop this and typically these are the processes of this process with the reference.
Yes, Mr.
Because this is not going to be and what caused the delay is that
I just to remind us that this audit we have done focus on obviously and we're very attentive even as audit to audit from one it was really none of us go on audit. So you realize that this were completed very recently and I haven't been had time to go back and and check what was required and get this done. But what I want to show you that we have an analysis which is required. We have done work on this and we have to provide a complete. But this is just to let me know what causes it.
All this was provided as indicated that is 25th of February on this issue. Page 47 on the same this one. On this is on lending activity. It's a recurring issue, and now we take that. The position that in 2021 was still be the same. If we have to provide the update, or if it is going to be reflected in the 2025, we still maintain that here. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
They have to
This was finance and onwards. So the decision that was taken yesterday on this particular theory is going to be reflected here. So you take note of both 2021 or 2021 and then 2023. Okay? Ministry of Finance. Why PPS? For today you change also.
I get it.
Should be right at the center there. Okay, so take note of 2023. Okay. Based on lending activity. And for the 9 also for finance, effective monitoring of performance of the on-lending agreements. That one is a new issue. The audit recommended that the Ministry of Finance should implement the stringent controls, including the automated tracking, regular and clear the borrower evaluations to actively manage these risks. My response? Hello. Finances.
I think we need
What you are reporting, the issue still is very challenging and we are finding it difficult to solve it. More yes.
I think we see what we need to do is come now. So that in the future, if they don't do any commitment, they will guide by the
Yes. So as I said, we have those CP, and that's why you realize so we don't see any on the table without someone going to go to regular. So I think that's something. And we let me get you right. So say from which year to which year you have issues? No, from 2019. 2019? Yeah. They did. They did. Yeah, after 2019, we have after 2019. So let me these issues were it was backlog. Yeah. And what proper mechanism have put in place to do the necessary recovery? The mechanism is only right there. I said, what mechanism, proper mechanism have put in place? And I don't need them to pay is by what? By writing? We will send them notification. Yes, madam.
I think they are usually but I am telling you, I don't for what time we were ready for the so while that is this is probably this is keep on so we are not really frustrated so it's probably maybe it's I think that's something will have a support
Yes.
You said in your submission that there is no legal framework that I think my solution was prior to 2020, someone said in the whole project. So we will be to extend and then but I said how before yes, and already already been some no, and if you look at the
sorry.
Yes, I say there is a condition in the performance the entity should write the proposal to the city and this is to do with the assessment regarding the loan. Those is the process required in the and this is really that which come yeah, but otherwise, do you have any proposal in this regarding to this prior to the there are steps those steps. As I said, And then the minister which is requirement. They will write down any of the person. So that means come and take money, spend it as value, and then the state will pay. That's why look around and see people have a very, very knowing that these people are going to be all these resources belong to you, and the value is not money. So why would politicians come? In any society with it.
Sorry. Can we proceed? Why that? We focus on what is on the table and where we are right now. But still already not, and the next is also is related to that, and that is about obligation not met on the ordinary loan. It was noted by the auditors and affected three entities, namely GCA and Gabantel. The amount involved 159,928,154.87, and the auditor recommended that finance should implement strict measures so SOEs meet the online repayment obligations. Management response.
Management acknowledges resolving
Hello. Finance, where the subordinate? Are you going to be for them?
by where provide the rate for this service or as a service or for this service. What can be the people?
And you are giving them your money.
The program, the ministry obviously cannot do anything. We have
The community will find a way out by way of resolution. We go to 53 that are to do still finance, responsible public debt. The amount involved is 219 million 736,058 dollars. And the already recommended that AAE and the debt management unit must closely collaborate to ensure that the figures reported in the approved budget are fully aligned with the amounts disclosed in the financial statements. What is your response? Finance? Finance? Can we have one meeting, please? Is there any difference? Yes. 2023.
Yeah, so I think
That's 2023 instead of 25.
yeah.
Okay, let them correct that first. Audit? Yes, audit. Can you verify that? Right, Jara, you proceed.
The actual for 2023, so that the global or whatever I think it might be, I think what was related for 2023. So that the actual for
Audit? We'll give you 25th. Next, 55, also finance. Misclassification of penalties and commitment fees as interest expense. It was noted by the auditors. The amount involved 247,806.05 and 316,576.61. On that, the audit recommended that AAG put through with an relevant adjustment to correct the misclassification observed, and that the loan limit also ensure that all payments are made in accordance with the timelines stipulated in the contract to avoid the unnecessary expenditures, and the management also responds. National audit. Finance. Did you work on it? You are not necessarily going to comply with the position. You want to be made position like parents, how are you going to budget? You do it so that's why we don't really we should be now what is your position? Sorry, before audit, what is your position? Our question is then community that one have everything because they are kind there are two things involved, communities and communities. When you say you are saying you have no control over communities, huh? Yeah. And then for penalties, with effort, coming from who? Penalties with effort should be avoided, and communities you have no control, and that will cannot be avoided. Yeah. That's your thing. We will hear from the auditors, and the committee also will take a decision. The financial team do not have any strategy that are not so the users are still of the financial team. So allow the financial team because if you plan it or report that is allowed directly expenses attributable to so you might be other people
Will follow with maybe this employee. So I just want to, if you can remember again, how many times did such
We've noted from finance that they have no control over that is the commitment fee and for the penalties that one can be avoided and the other one they have no control. So the committee decide Scotland action that's supposed to be taken in our report. Right? We move to page 56. Yeah, I can. Oh, this is central. So centralized system. That system is centralized. Completely. Centralized. That's the problem. One is we'll see what the technician can do about that. The discrepancy between the interest payments is close in the financial statements and the Meridian page 56. That interest payable 5,116,333.81. The auditor recommended that accountant general investigate the receipts for the discrepancy and adjust accordingly. Management Sorry, just finish your my response. Allow the audience to for me. Yes. What's your comment on that? It has to do with audit. I think this was narrated yesterday because of the future. And it was agreed that they won't work on the future because the arising as well of the between when they are making the there is between the estate they use and the one that is used when at the newspaper part. Because they have different have ingredient called ingredient. And when they get the ingredient, sometimes it takes some time. Sometimes it takes 1 week or more than that. People minutes infected. And this is about 1 week or more. So by the time you give the ingredient, there will be some difference. This is what we are trying to do. DPS. What he was saying yesterday when the issue also came up, it was agreed that we will focus on it, and when the BPS talk about that. And we give that we will be updated by end of the quarter. Right? Yeah. I'm not sure what can do.
Well, the and I did the end of what and they so they can put simply or they administratively manage the state of again 1 week to
Yeah, that's what they said they work on it. And then what they are effort they do, they report that Yes. Thank you. That's what I want to ask. Now, after waiting for the previous guys, for you to get to the do you think that will result in some policies in your insights? Because what you are seeing here is that the difference is in the base, right? Yes. So, provided your initial advice is to people, and the central bank advice comes to people 1.5. Does that mean that you are doing what already initial advice that you need? I think. What do you mean? And at the end of the day, that will affect the duty of your payments. The problem you are facing is you talk about. So for me, my question is, what harm will it make if you make more reconciliation? In the very and the payment that is central bank is doing, capitalism is for the business experience. And the answer in your books, rather than waiting on the central bank and customizing, we have a customer for the central bank. Once we send the payment to central bank, and we take our record, we our needs. We understand that they are intending for us to use the responsibility because we'll have to feel that well. They already is September. So the tendency of customer bank is very advanced. Verify what I have paid. My image because people have to communicate. But once you find in your system,
in the payment. And then you allow central bank to make payment and you come and see whether there is miscommunication. There is tendency that maybe side of it, or I mean, you may have some.
Yeah, just two more questions. If you have variations between the initial rate used and that of the one used by the central bank, does it result in anything?
You those because now that of central bank, you definitely have to supersede what you have done. You will have to.
No, provided, what I'm asking is, provided you use a rate of 52, effective payment in your system, and as at the time central bank is doing the payment, let's say a week later, they use 53.
Yeah.
The difference between the two, does it result in something? That is the one analysis. What does it result?
Of course it does.
What is it called?
Oh yeah, the amount that you recorded by central bank will be higher than our own.
And that will be a forex loss, not
Forex loss.
very That's it. So now, effectively, if you customize your records to that of the central bank, you will not give us any real. You know, the exchange gains.
No, I think that this will be handled by account.
No. What we are saying here is, what is happening is natural. There are discrepancies. And those discrepancies also accumulate to something else.
Yeah.
But if you customize your records to that of the central bank, then the monetary implications we will not see them. And those might have other back-end implications.
No,
that
what
we will
I'm trying to say,
just allow me. I have to carry narration that it might take time before you receive the advice of central bank. So my question is, what is the interval? Normally, how long does it take? Does it take a month, 2 months, 3 months?
it depends. Or maybe a week or a month.
A week or a month. But a month is the maximum.
Yeah.
The chairman advise you, make your mistakes. When you receive the advice from central bank, do reconciliation. And try to any gains or losses that happen. That will also serve as a tool for other people to use and make other investments. But if you customize your records, in effect, you are nullifying anything that happens before.
Wondering, we are different with that. So the bill that you are talking about, I think that would be done.
Then I strongly believe this one could have been the accountant general. No, then they should, then let's be fine. We should hear from them, let them advise us. Then we know the right course of action. Because customizing the records to that of central bank as well. I might be wrong, but I don't think it's the best course of action.
Accountant General?
This topic, and it has to do with accounting treatment. First and foremost, here the query is on central bank issues record and the meridian. You know, we're not talking about the CDP yet and what they have paid. So now, the way this can be tackled or be addressed is through the linking, integration, linking the two systems. You know, it has been done some years back, but it was not sustained. It was not working, and I don't think up to now that integration is still working. We used to have support from the how do you call it? From the Commonwealth. That system was supported by Commonwealth. At the point when Gambia, got out of the Commonwealth, the support stopped. But then it took up at a point again some years back. But we have not been able to stabilize and successfully work on this integration so that the two systems, once you process a transaction in the beginning, automatically it would now send the transaction to the database, and then this issue of discrepancy would not happen. However, there is another interface area between AGD and central bank, which means, given the fact that transactions are processed at the AGD, especially for foreign payments, and it will take a while before it is processed at CBG. That also can only be done if we have EFT for foreign payments in place, so that we would not have any human intervention in this process. So now coming to the technical bit is where we have exchange, because all this difference is caused by exchange rates, moving up and down. But in this case, usually it moves up in our case. So now, how do you recognize exchange differences? In accounting, you cannot just go and raise a transaction to make good the difference. No, there is a way that you should do to recognize that transaction, which means it is not going back to the line item. Instead, it is going now. If it is an exchange gain, we recognize it as an exchange gain. If it is an exchange loss, we recognize it as an exchange loss. So now, in that case, because many people would, like he said, they don't know about that exchange rate or gains. So it is in accounting and reporting for this transaction that you will be able to know the transactions that were passed and which resulted in an exchange loss or gain, and then you add the two before they can match. So these are the things. So, but then to cut a long story short, the main solution here is supervision, moving on to supervision. So until that is done, nobody can tell you here.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think that was really good. And suffice to say that we are in useful hands when it comes to the treatment. But the bonus contention here is Romeo, can I continue? The bonus contention here is they are not giving you the opportunity now to know whether there are gains or losses. It's customizing the records.
No, we don't need them to give us.
No, what I mean is, they are saying they are no longer being postings. They will wait till central bank laws it. Which means the initial advice will be ordered. So match that of the central bank. So that is the point I want you to recognize. They post after raising the budget, thereby giving you the opportunity to see the differences in the rates, or they customize it, which means give it a window, depending on when central bank will look at the payments, and just match them.
Maybe before I come in, let me allow the LDM to respond in terms of procedure of what they do. I will only come in terms of what our role is in this and how it is recorded in the system. But in terms of procedure, you think the LDM really do that.
Okay, thank you, Chair, for coming. I think we should, like I said, what we normally do, once we see initial debt service process in terms of the funds payment, you start from the beginning process. But by the time the payment is made to the account, but there are different proposals. We can see the payment, then we provide all the supporting documents and send it to accountant general. So accountant general, there are different levels of approval. So once you get there, they will get it posted and they will also move on. the foreign fee or foreign fund. There is some element or some activity. The process that they don't send it send that for further work and external activity. So what I was saying here at the beginning, what we were doing, once we raise from our end, because at the time we decided to accountant general, there's already a series that raised the game. So what you also notice that by the time accountant general was and the case is sent to central bank, they send it back down to team. Because, for example, nowadays, our exchange rate is like A. So if we process it today, we send it to accountant general, they get it posted, approved, and sent to central bank. And then if it happens at central bank, which is unlikely, to process and pay it in a within 24 hours. They will not say, I don't expect any exchange rate loss or gain. Yeah. But usually, because of the bureaucracy, time lapses, different exchange rates are used by these three parties. It's a private thing, ourselves, accountant general, and general. So, because at some point in time, auditors keep saying that when we put our report in terms of a debt servicing, will be different from what we shown in the past. And then, obviously, if they compare with what central bank would have externalized or effected, the two payments will be different. So, where do we stand? So, we said, well, I think now going forward, what we need to do is we need to adjust our procedure to see whether that one procedure. That was when we also tend to allow the process to flow and ensure that central bank effect the payment before we could get us. When central bank effect the payment, I said they will report foreign and direct equivalent. So it will be in our own opinion then to update our record. But in the past, once we send to accountant general, we automatically update our system, but it was bringing some data discrepancy. So where do we stand? Now that we have adjusted ourselves to this new approach, it's coming with this excellent done and those and the issue. So obviously, yeah, as alluded to by A, that just to avoid some of these problems, we put up interface activity or process. We debate our consultant to see whether certain kinds of debate, because that's definitely the only way to resolve this matter. But it was developed, I think definitely let's admit it, the challenge here in terms of interface is the funding. Because solution was developed, there were testing that was made, but down the line, we have some challenge. And the challenge here, let's admit, let's face it, we are going to resolve it, we work with resolve it. It's funding. If the funding is there, I believe that this process can. That's my solution.
Accountant General?
Yeah. Also, central bank has been giving us daily. It used to be better in those days that the machine was weekly, you know. So in that, you can place a payment on Monday, for example. Chances are it can be cleared within that week, and then you still maintain that exchange rate. But between the IFMIS and the central bank and the Meridian, we will, with these daily exchange rates, we will still have exchange differences, or we will have differences in figures, because when a payment is raised in the IFMIS, that day that you're raising the payment, it will capture the exchange rate as at that rate. It is not possible anymore to raise the payment today. It hits your account today, especially in this environment that we are working in. because several barcodes or some of us will be one will ticket for us to be passing, even if it is EFT, unless it's well loaded. So we might not be able to get the same difference. However, we report that if at the end of the day there is any difference, that is when now we come and do adjustments. But as far as DLDM is concerned, they are now going to adjust what is in their system based on what was paid at the bank. But then in the business already, a transaction is recognized with a figure as at the date of raising the voucher and posting. So for us, we would not go and then credit or get that line item again. It is either a gain or a loss. Instead, we recognize it on a different line item.
Okay, that's what. So the company will take note of all the explanation that are advanced, and that will inform us in our report. Can we go to page? Yes, we are still on the finance and ADB. Let's exhaust honorable members. We have pending issue in 2021. Geology was not here. I may understand they are here. So let's try to complete these issues on their mouth. For geology, it's a matter of giving us the status of regularization of certain issues. They were dealt with, but to what extent they have taken action that they have taken to regularize. Accountant General could not give that yesterday. So we want that to be given by geology themselves. So I'm appealing we go back to those issues, then from there we can come back and continue on 2021. 2021. Yeah, 2021. 2021. The first issue is on page 133. That has to do with failure to provide information. And then I will not go to the Commission on Water Things Management, what we go. That is the date when the situation will be regularized. Was mentioned that 26th of October. Geology, you're here? Can you go to page 134? That's where the action point is. The date when the situation will be regularized. By 26th of October 2024, you were not here, Accountant General could not give us that date update as whether the situation has been regularized according to your management response that by 26th October it will be regularized. I think you can access your person on your management response that will give you an idea. You can just read your management response, then it will give you an idea.
Thank you, sir. The management response was that management would collect the teacher the volume of material impacted quality of the debate.
Yeah, so the point is you indicated that the situation will be regularized by October 2020, 26, 2024. Whether that had happened?
Page 132.
134, that can be
No, 134.
34 years. Where you read the management response, just the last row there.
Yeah, I think this data is already the data for 2024. So 2020, it was 2021, yes.
The data is.
The data is not.
So are you saying the situation is regularized?
I hope it's not regularized. Because the data,
We are getting from you. We are not getting from us. You should reliably inform us.
I know the data have been collected. I don't know whether it's
By who? The auditors?
by the department.
By the?
By the department.
By the department.
Yes.
So when it's collected, that means you've regularized it.
Yes.
Auditors?
This was not provided up to the time of finalizing this management. And it also reported in 2020 as well.
And this one is 2021. I think the problem was you did inform us auditors that the audit was simultaneously done. There is 21, 22, 23. So that means it can still be also. Yeah. So the emphasis I'm trying to put, even though the exercise was simultaneously done, for this particular year, you have taken that commitment that by 26 October 2024, you regularize this situation. Here should have taken that action and then accordingly either inform the auditors or wait when the National Assembly calls you, you inform us that it has been regularized. If you cannot definitely giving us the actual position, we can still give you time. We've been doing that for other entities. You can go back and then try to inform us accurately. Right? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what happened?
Pardon?
What happened also, because at the time, we were understaffed. And inspectors in all these files to collect this data. The companies will normally collect their data. We are expected to be collected, but what happened was some of these sites, we didn't have permanent staff to be collecting at the time. So what we were relying on was that of the companies. When they come, we put the records. So when the auditors came, they said they want the report or the records from each geological department. So what we are expected to do was to go back to all the records and do our own, take the records back on our own. There was a time we were handicapped. We couldn't have inspectors in all the sites. That's why we left this way.
Yeah, so I think now that was then when you said you were understaffed, but now you have the necessary staff.
Yeah, now we have.
Fine.
Now
I'm now putting back to you the commitment that you are taking earlier on. That is by 26 October 2024, you regularize the situation. That was not done. So we're still giving you chance.
Okay.
And we've been doing that for other entities. By 25th February, we need to get the update on that. And then
So, what I just want to ask is, these daily records of extracts of sand mines, which are done on a daily basis. Do we have things bearing on the realities are going to be paid?
Yes.
They do. You confirm that in 2021 you do not have inspectors.
We have inspectors, but not in every site. We have over 20 sites, and at the time we didn't have enough inspectors that were employed to cover all these sites.
How many sites were you covering for?
In 2021, as I said, we have close to 20 sites.
What I mean is, how many sites were your inspectors stationed?
There were about 6 major. What we do is we look at the major sites. We focus on energy and efforts in capturing data from those sites.
So how were you recording the royalties?
You say what you finish.
For those sites where you have not inspectors?
There is a system in mining sector. It doesn't mean we have to be there permanently. We are just there to safeguard government interests. In mining, it doesn't mean you have to get, but there is a system where you will be able to also get the information of the delivery records or data extracted. And it is through that system that we also will collect the record or data of the other companies.
So we need to say that the absence of the inspectors does not affect the accuracy of the daily extracts that you were able to do the daily.
Which is the terminal?
Definitely.
Right on? Okay. So we take that by 25th, we will give the update on the matter. And I think that's also the same as 135, which is also about failure to pay government share of sand mining royalties. You indicated in your management response that the situation will be regularized by 8 October 2024. Can I put to you whether the situation has been regularized? Page 135. It has been regularized.
Yes.
Did you inform the auditors about that? Hey, so, I forget you. What is the auditors? Can you confirm that? 135.
Yes. Initially, the contract that was provided during the audit was different from the one that was provided when the draft was sent. There was a revised contract which allows them to use this rates. However, the argument here was this contract has not been reviewed since 2017. And periodically they are supposed to be reviewing this contract. So it's more advantageous to the mining company as opposed to what government is doing.
So has the situation been regularized? Has the situation been regularized?
No, the emphasis here is about the price that was used. They were using 125 instead of 133 dollars per metric ton.
So many not regularized? No, GLOG said they've regularized. So that's what I'm putting to the auditors to confirm that.
In 2022, it was not, 2021 rather, it was not regularized. The people is published in 2024, I think it was. That was the time it was finally regularized.
It was regularized in 2024. So that is to say, if it was regularized in 2024, they start to be correct that the situation regularized. Is that correct? Audit? So they stand to be correct that the situation is regularized. In 2024? Huh?
Yes, 2024.
Okay. We go to the other issue that's also on the geology page.
Check.
Yes?
We need to establish what is regularized and what is not. Because there are two things here.
Okay.
The first one is the outstanding balance of 92,000. The rest of 4.8. And the other one is the difference in rate, which is 125 against 133. 5-year previous bracket. So if at all, the application of the rates was regularized in 2024, when the agreement was effective since 2017, we need to ask the auditors whether that discrepancy was equally factual. So we need to know what is being done. Is it both of them? Or is there any outstanding fact? The auditors first.
Now, how young will talk on? I think what we reported on was the contract that was used in the initial finding was different from the second contract that was provided when we sent their management response. So obviously they were charging 125 in the first contract. But subsequent to the management response, the contract that was shared, they were allowed to use 133. That is why we have that difference. So that difference now will allow them to charge what the from 125 to 133. So it has been resolved in the auditor's comment. But however, one wanted to emphasize was the contract was not renewed. It was only in 2017. And that's something that the relevant authorities did up with. Governance interests need to be protected because the mining company is allowed to increase costs while the sharing is to remain the same. So in a net effect, they are benefiting and government is not benefiting more from what the contract shows here.
When was the last review?
This was in 2017.
And what was the timeline for the contract?
This contract was for 25 years.
So we go to the next issue also for geology. Till 2021, page 138. 138. Yeah, that too also, the situation was supposed to be regularized by 27 October 2024. Can you inform us, geology, the status of the regularization? 138, yes. We will go through the management response to guide you.
Yeah, the management response also have is pending its bond in institutional development of the department, including training and development survey equipment in accordance with the license. The company can also spend work the department development. In mining or in excavators, there are different companies, financial companies. There's this royalty survey center that was paid for. Also, there is 4 that is allocated to increase or increase the capacity of the department. It's like CRS, but this is proposed event for increase review times in terms of training, institutional development. The company currently spending that money in institutional development. We are currently constructing the new complex. And the fund currently is coming from, output is coming from that development. Instead of giving us the money, we pay that money straight to downloads will be managing this fund. So this fund have to pay to downloads, and we provided evidence that this money have been paid from the company to download to the government of this institution.
You still not answer my question. It's as simple as that. After providing your annual response, you indicated that the situation will be regularized by so and so month and year. Just confirm that.
Yeah,
give us updates.
We provided.
You provided.
Yeah.
Audit?
Yes, it was provided, but this office in 2024, there was another company that also fall under the same finding. Not exactly the company that we mentioned here, but I just coming.
So the company that is mentioned here, that one has been addressed.
It has been addressed.
So another one surfaced in 20.
Yeah.
So let's focus on this one to say that this one has been done.
But the most important thing is they are supposed to establish a designated account where this amount should be paid. And based on that, they will now be constantly utilized.
They should provide an account.
Yes.
Where
that was the query.
That
was part of the query.
That's part of the query.
The agreement requires them to pay this money into a designated account.
A designated account.
Yes.
Has that been done?
No. We are yet to have that account.
And that has to be done. Okay, I saw somebody.
Yeah, we said it's about the account. I think they need to give the timeline.
Okay, that will be part of our recommendation. Honorable
And also there's something that was encouraged by one of the general said. He just said that yes, this particular one was there, but then it is something on the new account. Can you clarify whether the new account is not the same under the new name? I think we need to look at that here. Sometimes they just every year some companies tend to change their name for other things, but we need to clarify that.
Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Manja. I think what we're trying to say here, there are different players, there are different mining companies that are participating in this geology, some mine. So what we say, this particular company mentioned here, but then the issue was resolved, they were contributing. But other companies of it, they were not meeting this requirement of this clause of the contract. So that's what we are saying. In 2024, we reported similar finding.
My issue is concerned to all the money license. It's very clear. The insurance requirements should have a designated account. The Lord is $1,000. We have confirmed that the money coming have been paid. So which means if they have opened that designated account, it's only going to this. And that was very, very simple. It was very simple. So what stopped you from doing that? Because this should not have been agreed. The company have paid. All you were supposed to do is to open an account. And so for me, it's not this or that giving us timeline. Let's know why they didn't do that. Why was the account not open?
as I said before, it was left with the company spending this. It was just when about that came, because we learned from the states in previous mining contracts. There was this Pan-African energy that they are pulling its accounts and sending it on the department. But once their contract is terminated, they go because this private social corporate responsibility towards the department. So, and they will be company based on their income. But actually, they are supposed to contribute towards that. So now we said instead of them holding it without spending it, we need to, if they are not spending it, we put it to government, to the department, so that we can fall back when we need it. We make efforts to open that account, hopefully very soon, the account will
Roger, perhaps I will have to read clause 70. I read. It requires mining companies, clause 70 of the mining license requires each mining company to spend $100,000 on training and institutional support in the geological department. The funds allocated for the training and institutional support shall be lodged in an account to be designated and communicated to the licensee by the Director of Geological Department before the 30th day of April each year. The Director of Geological Department shall be responsible for the administration of these funds. So it was not at the discretion, it is not at the discretion of the mining company to spend it on. When you learn from your mistakes, now you started working on specifics. That the designated account shall be opened. Order is stewardship of the Director of Geology. So the issue there is because your narration is not matching. You are saying if they don't spend it, they put it in their account. No, the requirements are not giving the company to spend it. To put it on training and institutional support, those requirements are on you now. When the money is given to you, you spend it on those two areas. But it is not for the company to identify those training components. So what I'm saying here is we are having a lot of audit queries on things which are basic. Very, very basic. If you have opened the account, the allotment is made there because the company didn't default. They paid you 100,000. If you have opened the account, this query will not be there. So I think moving forward, those are the issues we need to do. Because you have other audit queries, some of them are just too basic. They should not give them up.
That may not necessarily, we will not necessarily wait until when we lay the report. We just instruct that designated account be opened immediately. Yeah. Geology?
Yes.
Take note of that.
Yeah. Only in efforts to open this account.
And we don't tell you, we said immediately, but we want you to give us a feedback latest on the 25th of February, whether you complied on that or not. Or open the account.
I'll propose a way. Opening account is not difficult.
And that's what I'm saying. We said let them open account.
In 7 days.
Yeah?
We don't now, plan for AGD and stuff like that. I think
Unless and until you want to quantify the efforts they have made. He said they've made some efforts in opening the account. Unless you want to translate that into specifics. But if not, you don't want to count. This is since when? This is a long time now. You don't want to see audit queries, which are basic. So I think for me, 7 working days is okay. 25th of February.
The timeline is as a result of to report to us that year, not necessarily that it. Okay. We want to get the report because that is the time most of the entities will be giving their report. So they can also be part of that. But we are instructing for you to open account immediately or report to us on or before 25th. The other one is also under geology, page 140, and that has to do with no evidence of approved tariff. And that one in the management data, you indicated that the actions taken. The auditors confirmed that that will be confirmed in the subsequent audit. So we'll confirm that in the 2025 audit. Okay? And the other one also, no independent monitoring mechanism in assessing the amount of black sand exported, page 141. That one also, when you indicated that action already taken, the audits indicated that that will be confirmed in the subsequent audit, precisely 2025. And next page, 142. The Charge General Triple Receipt GTR, they are indicated in the table, and that one, no action mentioned, whether taken or to be regularized. So let me read the recommendation, and then you can go to your management response. Management should ensure that these receipts are investigated and detailed furnished to this office for confirmation, and that ensure that control mechanisms are put in place to regularly monitor the revenue collection processes and procedures in order to mitigate against financial irregularities. Management response?
If I could report this was backwards.
Just read your management response. Read your management response. Yeah.
The receipt numbers 378101 and 3760 are cancelled, while receipt number 372072 and 373064 are issued with error. This might apply to the next
Audit?
Doctors coming? The final image of the hopefully down
Yes, what do you think? We did say geology?
this bill, the receipts were attended
To who?
to audit.
To audit.
Yeah,
After the audit exercise?
yeah.
Audit?
Yeah, I referring to the initial finding, we quoted the relevant section of the Finance Regulation. What we expect, the funding of the